on this computer. So we'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone. Today is Sunday and it's September the 5th, 2021. My name is Jonathan Jones. I'm your host and moderator for the afternoon. And I would like to just extend a warm welcome to everyone who's here with us today. We're always happy that you have taken out the time to join us for this brief conference call discussion that we have. We know that there's so many other things that you could be doing with your time on a Sunday afternoon, usually a time for leisure and for family. But you've decided that maybe there's something that you can pick up that could be of benefit in making decisions about your health and your well-being, and maybe perhaps that could have an impact on someone that you care about. So just for the record, I'm not a medical doctor, and I do not ascribe to be one. I'm a researcher. In fact, I'm the research director for the Healthcare Support Association of America. I spend a lot of time digging. What motivated me was just watching my mother die and hearing the intensive care nurse and doctors tell me that they were praying for her immune system to kick in. That was back in 2001. And that was just an unacceptable response to me. I couldn't even believe that that's what I was hearing. And I couldn't believe that here we were in the 21st century. And the best thing that the medical system had to offer was prayer and hope. I'm a firm believer in the power of prayer. Firm believer in that. But I already had that covered with people who knew God's name. But I felt like the hospital system should actually be doing something. So when they said that they were praying for an immune system to kick her in her, my mind simply said, well, for future reference, I need to find an immune system kicker in her. Something that's going to have an impact on the immune system. And for me, it was a complete career change. So I departed from a life of computer electronics and engineering and just focused my attention on uncovering truth and information that could be of benefit in my life, my wife's life, and any other family member that that might find themselves in the same level of distress that my mom was in. She would not live through the day because that's all they had to offer was they were sitting around praying for her immune system to kick in. And I only wish now that I knew then what I know now about the immune system and could have convinced my mother to take some action, even with some of the things that I had already started sharing with her. Her response was, I have to check with my doctor first. And she never did. She never did. And sadly, there are many today that are in that same situation that they, unfortunately, there are many doctors who do not believe that natural remedies and alternatives have any real value. So some of them even tell their clients, I don't want you taking anything like that because it may interfere with my treatment. They even say that about things like chemotherapy, which again, it's understandable. And I don't tell anyone to go against what your doctor tells you. I believe you should work closely with your doctor. And part of our premise is to help you help the doctor that's helping you. Because most doctors want their patients to be emotionally and mentally involved in their care and doing something about their situation, being mentally and emotionally involved, taking action and helping them rather than just sitting back and waiting for the doctor to make all the decisions and to hopefully do all of the right things. So doctors actually prefer that if you do something. So we try to give you that option. The information we're providing is for educational purposes only, and nothing has been shared with the FDA. So none of my comments have been evaluated by the FDA. All this information is public information. You can find it simply by doing a Google search if you want to. And if you would like to have any information that I have, just feel free to email me. My email is jonathan@hcsaaa.com. Jonathan, JONATHAN at HCS, Harry, Charlie, Sam, HCSAAA.com. So that's the easiest way to reach me. And if you prefer to use the phone, not likely that I'll answer it, but if you prefer to use the phone, 754-300-8909. 754-300-8909. Text is your best option if you'd like to get clarification or to receive any information that the sources of any information that I'm passing on to you now. So one of the things that we've been talking about a lot lately is what's on the mind of millions of people. In fact, it's globally on the mind of most people right now is this pandemic. Is there a magic bullet? No. Is there some secret that's not being told? Possibly, but we're not here to just share secrets. All we're here to do is to guide you as to what you can do, the options that can be taken to maximize the chances of navigating these very tumultuous waters. Right now, the only public options that's being provided are vaccinations, one by Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson and Johnson. And some countries have some other options. I think Russia has something they call Sputnik, and I think China has a few others. But here in the United States, the FDA has approved for emergency use four, and only one has been given full-blown authorization now. That's the Pfizer vaccine. So we encourage each person to make a decision about what route you're going to take, but do so with knowledge. Make yourself familiar with what the potential adverse reactions could be from the vaccines. And each of them have different ways that they have been developed, different technologies that they are based on. And so they have virtues, but each of them also have some serious potential adverse consequences to them. And from the public record point of view, CDC and the FDA's information, a very tiny percentage of people have these adverse reactions, very, very tiny percentage. So you always have to keep that in mind. So if we do mention things that could be potential adverse reactions, we're only talking a very small percentage of individuals. Millions, in fact, hundreds of millions of people have received the vaccines, and thus far, it has slowed the rate of progression and the rate of death. So those are the official reports that come from the government, that the rate of death and the number of people dying from coronavirus has declined. Now, what are we seeing here in this country? Right now, there's so many things that have been politicized, and I'm not going to go into any kind of a political position one way or the other. I really, quite frankly, don't care as to whether this person on this side says something or that person on the other side says something. Just I'd like to share some of the facts that are out there. And part of the way I will do that now is just by sharing a couple stories with you. One woman called me about a week and a half ago now. And she said that a personal friend, this is not just a random woman, we've known this woman for more than 30, maybe 40 years, just like Joanne Jones said there about her good friend Dolores. I've known this woman for probably 30 or 40 years. And she said that she'd just spent a week in the hospital. And I said, why? She said, well, I came down with COVID-19 and I was having trouble breathing. Are you vaccinated? She said, yes. I said, which vaccine? She said, I had the 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine. And she said, no, I couldn't breathe. So I was in the hospital. They gave me oxygen, helped me to breathe. And she said that they eventually gave her the monoclonal antibodies. She said, but nothing seemed to be helping her. And she had been taking small amounts of micro daily. That's a micronutrient formulation, originally called military micronutrient formula. But she'd been taking micro daily, but she realized that she wasn't taking enough, because for years I've been telling her to take more, because A, she's a little bit overweight, B, she's diabetic, C, she's has blood pressure issues, and D, she's over 50. So she has 4 major health issues. You can't take the same dose that a healthy 20-year-old should be taking, which is what Dr. Prasad recommends, 2 capsules in the morning, 2 capsules in the evening. So she finally realized that she needed to just go ahead and double up. She's in a hospital at this point. So sure enough, she began to take more of the product. And she tells me this is not me conjuring this up. She says the only time her situation changed was when she finally started taking more of the micro daily. Now she knows she needs to take higher dosages of it. Now, fast forward by about a week or so, just this past week on Thursday night, she says that her daughter, she was very sick, and she had also come down with COVID. 28-year-old woman, mother of 2 young children. The boy just told me he was 8 years old, and his little sister, 5 years old. Neither of the children tested positive, but mom tested positive for COVID, 28 years old, unvaccinated. So she too began to take some micro daily, but her condition continued to decline. So this past Thursday night, she called for an ambulance. The first woman called for an ambulance for her daughter, the 28-year-old daughter. Took her to the hospital, and the hospital said that she wasn't sick enough, and because her oxygen levels at her fingertips was 95%, so they didn't consider her to be sick enough. She pleaded for them to check her again, and then finally they checked. The doctor listened to her chest and said, okay, well, you do have a bad case of COVID lungs. But they still sent her home because they didn't have space for her, told her to come back the next day and they would give her monoclonal antibodies or something. They sent her home. Her mother called us that same night. Again, this is late at night. This is about 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening. And so we just went over to take whatever we had. We took a few things with us. And while we were there, within 30 minutes, went straight to the house down in Hollywood. It's right in Dania in South Florida, only about 30 minutes away. And so we made a couple batches of things together for her. One of the things that we gave her, of course, was microdaily. The second thing we gave her was ImmuneRx spray, which some of you are aware of. And the third thing we gave her was vaxd RX lozenger and Inflamagol. We dropped the two in hot water. She began to sip on that, and she took all the other items that we recommended. In less than 30 minutes, her breathing started to improve. She was able to lay down and rest and sleep through the night. So the pain in her chest began to go away right away. By the way, all testimonies are all anecdotal. So because you don't know the clinical circumstances around them, even when I'm sharing testimonial, it's purely anecdotal. None of these conditions were under clinical circumstances. So results are atypical. It may or may not have the same effect on someone else. So those are the official disclaimers that we have to make sure that we share with you. By the next day, she went back to the hospital to get whatever treatment they had to offer. And then a couple of days later, both she and her mom have been sending messages and saying that the only thing that's making a difference for her is the increased doses of microdaily, and of course, the additional supplements that we recommended. So why am I telling you all of this? Those are just two cases, two instances of individuals, one fully vaccinated and one not vaccinated at all. The results are the same. They both survived COVID-19 and likely the Delta variant. And I'm saying likely because the newspapers, the CDC, they're all indicating that the dominant variant in the United States right now is the Delta variant. In fact, there's indicating that there's only 2,000 cases of the MU variant in the United States right now. So the dominant variant in the United States is the Delta variant, the one that's killing a lot of people. In both cases, they've lived to tell the story, and they're both fine. And the reason is because they took action to improve their immune function. Whatever you decide to do, focus your attention on your immune system. Don't assume that anything is going to simply protect you. The person who believes that they're choosing to be vaccinated is going to be the miracle shield for them. It may or may not be the case. And the CDC and the FDA are saying that it's preventing severe hospitalization and death. That's what they're saying it's preventing. That's all that they're claiming about it now. They realize now that a vaccinated person has even more viral load in their body than an unvaccinated person. So you can test positive and catch it and spread it. So please make sure that you wear a mask, do the same thing that you were doing before they even had vaccination, wash your hands frequently, and use social distances and wear a mask. And put the right components into your body, boost up your body's immune system. Now we've interviewed Dr. Prasad right here on this same Sunday program, and Dr. Prasad carefully went through his published scientific document that showed 6 different ways that microdaily disrupts what COVID-19 is trying to do in the body. So there's 2 major parts of the immune system, right? The innate immune system, that's the part of the immune system that does what it does no matter what. killer T cells, NK cells, the part of the immune system that simply does what it does. Antibodies, produces antibodies and kill and fight off invaders. Then there's the adaptive immune system. That's the part of the immune system that takes a sample of this new thing that's never seen before, goes back to the office, creates brand new antibodies and adapts to whatever the circumstance is and makes the adjustment. Now, cytokine system calls the alarm and asks for those specific soldiers with those specific bullets to come and attack this brand new pathogen. So the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system, those two different things. Microdaily is very, very, very good with supporting both systems. ImmuneRx targets the adaptive immune system, makes the immune system super intelligent very, very, very quickly. VaxdRx calms down the cytokine storm system. It also has an interesting, oh, by the way, impact on the mRNA activity that takes place from the vaccines too, but we won't talk much about that. Just keep that as a sidebar and kind of under your breath. It does have an impact. That's the reason why it's referred to as VaxdRx. So if a person is vaxxed, then that's the one thing that you definitely want to make sure you've got in your body. Microdaily and VaxdRx. Both of those, by the way, no, Microdaily you get from the person who invited you to this discussion today. Make sure you go back to whoever invited you today, and they'll help you set up your own wholesale account for Microdaily. Highly recommend everyone without fail, make sure you add Microdaily to your diet. The one that I'm still particularly fond of is the original formula in the green bottle and Hydro. Of course, my canister's over there. I take Hydro every day. I just put Hydro in a bottle of water like this, and I drink. I'm taking 2 pouches of Hydro in the morning, 2 pouches of Hydro in the afternoon, and if I can't reach it fast enough, then I'll take 4 capsules of the original formula of Microdaily. Those are the ones that I'm using, and then at night, just before going to sleep, 3 capsules of the original. I also use the CBD Boost, helps with anxiety and produces a calming effect. Sleep through the night like a baby. Some of the best sleep you'll ever have is when you take those 3 capsules of Microdaily right at bedtime. That's a secret weapon. How much Microdaily should a person take if they're wanting to just have optimal health? If you're over 50, that's considered a chronic problem. You might want to take more. I'm 59 and a half now. I've had bursitis in my shoulder and a real bad problem in my knee, which I assume was arthritis. But since I've increased my doses, like I just described, 4 capsules of the green twice a day, or 2 packs of the Hydro twice a day, whichever one, you can mix and match. I've had no problems with my shoulder, no problems with my knee. I'm back exercising again, and I'm almost at the point of jogging. I just do a lot of brisk walking right now. So I'm back. I'm back going again with absolutely no pain whatsoever. So I'm doing my push-ups and things all over again with no additional pain. So I highly recommend that you increase your doses to be able to deal with the ravages of aging. And then it's ImmuneRx and VaxdRx that's available on the website, amerixbio.com, AMERX, Amerix, AMERX, bio.com. And you can get both of those items there. And there's a coupon code. It's listed right there on the website. So you'll see the coupon code right there on the website, where you're getting, right now you're getting 50% off, because our entire team believes that those 2 items, ImmuneRx and VaxdRx, should be in everyone's live cabinet. You need to make sure that you have those available, and don't take this suggestion lightly. You want to have those 2 items. You definitely want to make sure that you have on hand, period. You don't want to run out. I highly recommend that everybody build up a supply of whichever your Microdaily of choice. Build up a supply. Don't run out, because if we ever get to a point where the supply chain is disrupted in some way, that's one thing that you do not want to fail to have on hand. So take your extra monies, your income tax return monies, your any discretionary extra money, cash in on some of that 401k, get rid of some of your Bitcoin stock, whatever, but build up your supply of those items. Now, I mentioned a little bit about exercise, and I want us to kind of splash in this before I transition off. You know what? No, let me get back to that. I promised I was going to tell you a little bit about this Mu variant. So let me just finish that part of this discussion first. Here's an article in the Washington Post. I just scrolled down to the portion of the article so you could just see this particular section of it. And you see the question in the article, Washington Post. You can just Google just Google World Health Organization, WHO, and then MU. So that's the Mu variant. And that's how I found this article. Will my coronavirus vaccine work against Mu? Here's the answer. It's unclear how much protection the vaccines offer against this variant. The Mu variant has a constellation of mutations that indicate potential properties of immune escape, the World Health Organization said in a statement Tuesday, raising concerns that it may be more resistant to coronavirus vaccines than other variants. But this, they say, needs to be confirmed by further studies. Did you hear that? They are basically indicating that they have no clue as to whether or not the current vaccines will work against the Mu variant. And when they say that we don't know, that simply means that they don't want to say yet that it doesn't, because they also said for a long time that they didn't know whether it was going to be effective against the Delta variant. And I'm here to tell you that people with the Delta variant are ending up in the hospital just as much as unvaccinated people are. There are some individuals in the medical community, even now, that are saying that there's some misleading statistics that are being presented. They're saying that half of the people in the hospitals right now are fully vaccinated, much like the first story I told you about today. And we hope that each one of those persons is able to survive. They're telling us a lot about examples of unvaccinated people who are dying in the hospital. And of course, they're not saying much about those who are vaccinated that are dying. They're not saying much at all about any of these things because of the politicization of the news and the information about it. But whatever the case, concentrate on your immune system. No matter what option you choose to take, concentrate on your immune system, bolster it up. Now, the last thing I want to just mention, as I just touched on a second ago, this thing about exercise. How many of us are getting proper exercise right now? Nobody's waving their hands. The correct amount of exercise is at least 10,000 steps. Avis Ridley says 2 of the top FDA officials resigned. Yeah, the FDA officials are resigning a lot right now because they recognize that there's some funny business taking place. And they're not the only ones. There's been a slew of them prior to this that have resigned too, Avis. Thank you for sharing that. But I'd like to just encourage everyone to support your immune function by getting moving. Start out slow. You don't have to do a lot, but they recommend that you get 10,000 steps in a day. So even if all you're doing is walking, try to get your 10,000 steps in. And how do you track that? Just go to your Play Store, or if you have one of those semi-smartphones like an Apple device or something, go to the store and just search for a step tracker and just download them. They're free. And it'll tell you how many steps that you've taken for the day. And you want to try to get up to 10,000. It takes a minute to do that, but work your way up to that. And the reason I'm saying it, I'm saying it calmly right now because you can Google this also. Here's the phrase you want to Google: not exercising worse than smoking. You get it? There's a lot of articles out there right now, it's going back to 2018, that indicate that if you're not exercising, your chances of dying is higher than if you were a smoker. If you're not exercising, your chances of dying is higher than if you have diabetes. So not exercising is considered a disease in and of itself. And the odds of death is 5 times higher than if you were a chain smoker. So, and there's studies that prove that. So get moving. That's all I'm going to say. Get moving. And if you need some help shedding some of the extra pounds, you've already got the website, amerixbio.com. There's a great weight loss program on the website. It's called 65 for Life. It's accelerated weight loss. You can lose up to 1 pound a day. And it's right there on that website as well. So support your efforts to keep your immune system strong and increase the chances of surviving, because this pandemic is going to be here for a minute. It's not going away, folks. I said this a year and a half ago. I was telling my wife when she was saying, well, we got to make sure we cover ourselves with garbage bags before we go outside, put on 3 masks and go get some surgical gowns and get some gloves. And I put on this space suit. And I said, I know, sweetie, everyone's going to be exposed to coronavirus. The only question is, how is our body going to respond to it? Of course, she thought I was crazy at the time. Well, no, she knows I'm not crazy, but I believe we should be ahead of the problem, not behind it. I think we should be ahead of the problem, not behind it. And that's why the immune system is so important. Right now, guess what scientists are saying? Scientists are now starting to say that everyone is going to be exposed to COVID-19. The only question is, how is your body going to respond to it? And that's why I'm telling you, microdaily, ImmuneRx, VaxdRx. Those 3 things, that's what you want in your arsenal, okay? All right, very good. So let's see if we can't hear some of your stories. I know some of you have had some interesting encounters with COVID-19 and other health issues. Some of you have sent me stories that on your job that you're hearing statements from people coming into the stores that you work in, doctors, pharmaceutical reps that are making admissions that if they said it publicly, they would lose their jobs. So this would be a great time for you to share any of those stories or ask any questions that you would like. Can't promise you that I'll have the answers, but feel free to chime in. Now's your chance. Okay, someone said they want those links in the chat. Okay, amerixbio.com. The coupon code, be good if I spell coupon right, is vaxd RX 212908 for immune RX and vaxd RX 50% discount. That's the deepest discount I've ever seen there, folks. Catherine Robinson, please go ahead.
I have a similar question. I did go to the site and I'm already subscribing to the Micro Daily. So 50% is off those 2 together?
Yes.
Whatever
yes.
their price is 50% of that?
Correct.
For the VaxdRx and the ImmuneRx?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. So if you order those 2, because it mentions something, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll tell you at checkout, right? Kind of.
That is correct. Yep,
Okay,
there's a place to put the coupon in. It'll show the discount right there.
So for the,
all right.
For the all 3, there's a discount on them as well?
No, on that website, the discount is only for VaxdRx and ImmuneRx.
Okay.
To get Micro Daily, you go to your own website or you go to the website of whoever invited you to this meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Please do not buy Micro Daily from that website unless you're one of my clients. If you go there and you're one of my clients, you can buy it there if I invited you. But if someone else invited you, then go to their website.
Okay,
And if you purchase Microdaily from that website and I find out that you're not one of my customers, you'll be refunded. We won't ship it to
Okay.
you.
But do you recommend with someone with severe arthritis take all three together?
And this is Anne.
Yes.
Ah, there we go. Severe arthritis.
Or yeah.
Well, Microdaily by itself will take care of severe arthritis. Because if severe arthritis feels something like someone took an ice pick and shoved it in your knee, I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a feeling I've never had before, and I've never been, diagnosed with it. I hate to sit here and say that I'm not a real fan of doctors, because my favorite doctor is Dr. Nkuzi and Dr. Laird. So those two doctors are the guys who take care of me. And they're the ones who've told me my different issues, and I'll tell them my symptoms and so on. So my left knee is arthritis because it's just like someone jabbed an ice pick in there. I don't have that anymore because it's just this by itself. Now, mind you, I take all of the preventive things. We take it prophylactically, but from history, this will do arthritis pain by itself, okay?
Okay. So you can start out on that.
Absolutely,
Okay.
you can start out with that. But then if you're worried about things related to coronavirus and
Yes.
the vaccine, then you build on that with ImmuneRx and VaxdRx. If all you can afford, and I hope everybody hears this clearly, if the only thing you can afford is one thing, please make it this, make it Microdaily. If the only thing you can afford is this, do this. If you don't do anything else for yourself, okay?
All right.
The other two items are bonuses, and they're fantastic in what they do. But cost is always an issue for everybody. Daphne, please go ahead.
I got about 2 or 3 things I want to say. I did go on your website and ordered the Vax and the ImmuneRx, and I appreciate the discount. But I see on your website you also have Microdaily with CBD. And do they have that at Microdaily? Because I did order that, because that was the first time I had some when I first ordered some, when I first came in, that it did wonders for me. I like it with the CBD included in the Microdaily. And you're the only person I see have it. I've been looking for it, so I did buy it. But anyway.
You ordered it off the website?
I ordered it off your website. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Sir.
Did you receive it?
I don't know. I just ordered it.
Oh, okay. You're gonna get refunded for that.
Why? It got the CBD in it.
Yeah, but it's not supposed to be on the website. Here's what happened. Engage Global discontinued the product.
But that's some good stuff.
When I heard that they were going to be discontinuing it, I wish I had more money. I would have just bought up everything that they had. I would have bought every single bottle of it, because in my opinion, it was just the best. So, but I grabbed 1 or 2 bottles of it. I mean, I have a little bit around here for personal use, but that's it. So thank you for telling me that I got to remove it from the website.
But don't send me mine. And then do the rest. But the second thing is, my mother been taking the gummies because the Microdaily in the green bottle, I think, helps better with diabetes. This is just my personal opinion, but I see a spike in her levels since she's not been taking the green bottle. I think the green bottle does better than the gummies.
I believe so too. The gummies have a little bit of a sweetener, so that would have an effect on someone with diabetes. So it may be better for her to stay away from the gummies. The gummies were primarily designed for children, the young people, and those who are young at heart. So I've been have to admit that I've been sampling the gummies a lot here lately, probably because of my sneaking to get some of that sugar.
Yeah, but she
But
won't take the green. Because the pill's getting to be too much for her. So,
open them up and put it in something that she likes.
okay.
Open it up and mix it. Do you know what she likes to what does she like to eat? Does she eat a smoothie, or does she do applesauce or yogurt or something like that?
She might do yogurt or applesauce every now and then. So I try to do that. But
Start sneaking it in there, because what you want to do is try to get 3 capsules in her 3 times a day.
yeah. And the other thing I want to ask about the hydro, with the hydro and kidney, my brother has um I think he kidney cancer, and I've been trying to get him to do the hydro. Is that all right for a person who has any kidney disease or kidney cancer?
It absolutely will be okay for, it doesn't matter what the disease is. Adding micronutrition to the conversation will only be good. Now, if they're looking for it to, say, get rid of kidney cancer,
No.
that's a slightly different conversation. And there may be a slightly different direction depending on what their budget is that they may want to go in, if they want to try something that would maximize the chances of abnormal cells being contained in some way. So if they can do it, I recommend something like DNA 136. I've seen that do phenomenal things in a very short period of time with certain kinds of abnormal cell issues. So that's the one I would stake my life on for that.
Okay, well, I'm trying to just get him to do the hydro. It's like bending somebody back just to try to take it. So he said he would, and I gave it.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm gonna let you go. I know y'all tired of me being on here, but I had a girlfriend. She was very sick. I don't know what she had. I don't know if she had COVID. I don't know what it could be. It might not have been COVID, but she just was sick. She was having a sore throat. I heard about it. I took her some hydro to her house, and the doctors, they wasn't. She had went to the hospital, but and she has arthritis real bad, but she couldn't get any relief. So and I had just found out about it. It had been going on for a while. One Sunday, I took it to her. I took her to hydro. I took her a whole box, and I took her some CBD. I took her a whole thing, and I just gave it to her. She called me the next day, saying that she was on Zoom meeting with us. She was feeling better, and so I mean, it was a big turnaround.
Wow.
And I got one more, and this a person who's pre-diabetic, and she's been going through a lot mentally as well, but I had to kind of twist their arms, and I gave it to her too. And it's not like they ain't got the money, because they got the money. Seriously, but I gave it to her too. But I said, y'all need to try this. Once you try it, I know you're gonna get it. So, but she called me the other day. She said she got more energy. She's feeling good. So she know it got to be the hydro. So hopefully they'll get it.
That is phenomenal. That is just amazing. Thank you very much for sharing those stories, and we look forward to the follow-ups on that. Okay.
I hope.
Mr. Jones.
Someone was asking a question. Who's that?
Yeah, Francis Titus.
Hi, Francis. Go ahead.
Let me make sure I'm unmuted.
Yes, you're unmuted.
Oh, okay. A person like in my right knee, I'm taking the micro,
And I think when hearing you talk, I need to double up and take 2 in the morning when I eat, and then later on into the evening, take 2
Mm-hmm.
and everything. In my right knee, when they took a picture of my bone, they
Uh-huh.
said cartilage, I could see where the cartilage is almost gone.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm late on taking the micro now, because had I taken it years ago, that might have built me up, some.
Right.
And now I've started losing weight, and I'm a diabetic too, but I don't take medicine. I just do a diabetic diet because my numbers stay low. As a matter of fact, they might be getting too low because like I don't do mess with the starch too much. I'm
Good.
more of a vegetable, chicken, and I eat beef sometime, not a lot, but they want me to have some liver so often because I have nose hemorrhages. And I could bleed a gallon of blood or more.
Wow.
So I had to get infusions, and now they check me twice every 6 months to see if I need any, because the white blood cells in me they're not like they should be. And my feet, they hurt me a little bit, and that could be because I am a diabetic.
That's right. You're dealing with neuropathy there.
Yes. So that micro, mine is in a red bottle, I think. I think mine is in a red bottle.
Yeah, that's the EMF formula.
Okay. Is that the one that I should be taking?
That's fine. It's a good formula, but you should be taking more of it. So instead of just taking 3 capsules with that one, in your case, you might want to take 5 or 6 capsules at one time, twice a day.
Okay.
Yeah, double it up.
Yeah, because I take quite a bit of vitamin B. It's like a little over 2,000, but my iron is still low. I have low iron in my system.
Once you start taking the right amount of micro daily, your iron levels will start to go up. Add some molasses to your diet.
Oh, okay. I used to eat that when I was little. Yeah.
Yep, get back on it. That'll start to help you out. It won't hurt you so much from a diabetic point of view, but it will help build your iron.
Yeah.
Okay, so just be careful with it, all right?
Oh, with what?
With don't take too much. Just keep taking it like a tablespoon or so, and it will start to build your blood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the doctor, she put me back on starches because I don't have a good appetite anymore. Sometimes, like when I ate this morning, I'm not hungry. I had a burger with tomato on it, and then when I had to take the medicine, I couldn't eat any food. So what I did was ate 2 small plums and everything. And I will probably have greens for dinner and a salad, a very small portion, because my stomach, the doctor said my intestine, it can't hold too much food. She's trying to get me on 5 small meals a day. Because, of course, I sold my house and I moved, and I don't think my appetite is ever going to be like it used to be. I've lost about 15 pounds or more.
Wow. Well, there's some folks here on the meeting today that would love to have your story of losing the 15 pounds. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When you kind of lost me, I'm still back there on hamburger because I'm thinking about bacon on that. But that's a whole nother conversation. Okay.
Yeah, I made homemade hamburgers yesterday and cooked them on the grill.
Oh, now she's gonna tell us how she cooked them. Can y'all believe this?
I got to call my family so they can come and pick up this food, because if I freeze it, it's gonna stay in there forever. Yep. So I'm gonna call some of the friends and they'll come pick up some this week.
Well,
Yeah,
watch
because
out. If I'm in the neighborhood, I'm coming by. But thank you
well,
very much for sharing your story.
you're welcome, Mr. Jones, and your wife.
Thank you
Yes.
very much for sharing your story. We
Yeah.
look forward to hearing your follow-up on this, okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can't
Oh, that's just wonderful. Amazing what Microdaily is doing, right? So James Peters, thank you again for sharing your story there and raising your question. James Peters, please go ahead. You had a question.
Yeah, my niece takes Metro Daily and she works every day, but she has a gas problem real bad. And she said she cannot take it while she's at work because it's so bad.
Mhm.
And I just know what she can do.
Yeah, it sounds like her gut biome is off. So she needs to focus on her gut, concentrate on getting more probiotics. She's probably not taking a probiotic at all. So she's not breaking down things properly. So she needs to get her hands on a really good probiotic, number one. And to help with that, ImmuneRx, the powder, would also help her. So that's a pure bovine colostrum, but I would start with the probiotic first, okay? And that will start to help her gut improve. Then if she can't go anywhere else, add to that enzymes like enzymes from papaya. Papaya will help break the food down properly. It will start to, cut down on that flagellation.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. So please let us know if what the improvements are and if we need to step it up a little bit. All right, just come back and let us know.
Okay,
Thank you, James.
thank you.
Rose White, you've been waiting patiently. How are you? Don't forget to unmute, Rose.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just want to ask, what can you recommend for someone who has cirrhosis of the liver?
Ooh, that's never a good thing. That's not a good thing. Is it alcohol caused or is it some other reason for the
No,
cirrhosis?
she's a nurse.
And she's a nurse.
Mhm.
I would increase glutathione levels as quickly as possible. Is she taking Microdaily?
Not yet.
Then she needs to be on that like quickly and ramp up to where she's taking like 3 times the normal dose. I mean,
Okay.
just run it up like her life depends on it. She may not want to start with the super high dose right away because she would detox so viciously that it might, make her uncomfortable. But I'd start out with 2 capsules 3 times a day. And then I would increase that to where it was more like 4 to 6 capsules 3 times a day. And I would absolutely add ImmuneRx spray to that. We've seen ImmuneRx spray help people with terrible liver problems. Let me just say it that way. Terrible liver problems. ImmuneRx spray, make sure you add that into the conversation, okay? But
Okay.
little by little, two by 3 on the regular Microdaily, every 48 hours, add a couple more. Just keep going up. And if she starts to detox too heavily, come back down for a little while until she can tolerate, then go back up again. But lots and lots and lots of water. But it'll help her liver to survive. She's got to get tons of glutathione. It's got to raise her glutathione levels in the liver, okay?
Okay, so the glutathione will come from the daily Microdaily?
Yes, it will come
Okay.
from Microdaily. Now, if she can get a doctor in the hospital to give her IV drip of N-acetylcysteine, she'll probably solve that problem quicker. But that's a different conversation.
Okay.
Okay, but the Microdaily will do it if she just sticks with it. Microdaily and the ImmuneRx, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Estelito and Tess.
Yes, I just would like to share with you an experience from a preferred
Please.
customer.
Wonderful, please.
Yeah, this preferred customer has 3 grandsons, ages 8, 6, and 5. And they all are school children, and she started giving the gummies to each one of them prior to going to school, I think a week before the school opened. Well, the 8-year-old and the 5-year-old just didn't like, there was an aftertaste, they said, and just didn't like it. But the 6 years old, he didn't like it, but he still took it. So he was taking, I think he was taking just one gummy. Yeah, one, I think, or probably twice. But anyway, just last week, the 8-year-old and the 5-year-old started to have colds and cough. The 6-year-old didn't have any. So she told her daughter, we better just push them into this gummy so that they'll get better. And even now her daughter, I think, would be subscribing for the micro daily. So whole family is on it now.
That's wonderful, wonderful. I feel sorry for the 8-year-old and the 5-year-old,
Yes.
but sometimes you got to learn a lesson the hard way.
Yeah.
But let mom know that in a worst case scenario, let the 8-year-old, if they prefer hydro, just cut it in half.
Okay, half.
So in other words, put one hydro in a bottle of water,
Mhm.
and then let the 8-year-old drink half the bottle of water in the morning and the other half in the evening.
Okay. Great.
That may be a substitute that'll work for them. And if that don't do it, just have them take one capsule of the green one every day, twice a day.
Twice a day. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right. No, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So the power of the gummies is starting to step up on us here. Very good. So Ann Colbert, you have a question or a story you'd like to share with us?
Yes, my grandsons are taking microdaily, and he says he has more energy since he's been taking it. I also want to comment, if you're want to increase your iron, it's important that you always add a citrus to increase iron in your body. If you eat spinach, you make sure you eat citrus with it. And even if you're doing like the D3, they want you to take fat, beta carotene, you need fat. So a lot of things you have to know what to eat with it to increase it in your body.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. So make sure they're adding a citrus and beta carotene.
Yeah, if you're gonna do iron, you need citrus. If you're gonna do the others, you need fat.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. So you heard it live from another expert here. Thank you very much, Ann, for sharing that with us. Cassandra Williams, you have a story you're going to share with us or a question you'd like to ask? Don't forget to unmute.
Did you say Cassandra?
Cassandra, yes.
Okay. I just have a quick question about the ImmuneRx. I saw there's a spray and then there's the powder.
Yes.
And it's colostrum. I actually have colostrum that I have been taking intermittently. So if I already have the colostrum powder, I could just continue with that? Or is there a difference between, I ordered it like, I think it's from Douglas Laboratories. I didn't like just buy one off the grocery shelf, but it was one ordered specifically from a chiropractor that's supposed to be a high quality one. So I didn't know if that's pretty much the same thing as what's the MURX is.
Well,
it's just basically colostrum.
It's possible that it's similar. If nothing else, is going to help the digestive system better than doing nothing. That's for sure. So we've tested a lot of colostrums out there. The ImmuneRx is just the best one that we found. It was the highest quality. But if you're getting good results with the one that you're using, fantastic. The one thing that is not likely to be available is the ImmuneRx spray. It's a peptide extracted from bovine colostrum that's specifically designed to ameliorate the immune system, to calm down cytokine storm, and to make the immune system super intelligent. It will work hand in glove with your colostrum. So if you want to add that to your diet, to your repertoire, that would be a wise move.
Okay, and is that spray, how is that administered? Is it just by spraying it on the tongue, or?
Yeah, sublingually. Hold it, take 3 or 4 blasts under the tongue, hold it for 1 minute. And now it's bypassing digestion and going straight into the bloodstream.
Okay. And then secondly, if someone was diagnosed with atrial fibrillation, and they also have diabetes, would Would, is there anything that would cause any kind of reaction with taking like any of the supplements with that?
No. These
Would
supplements,
only help it?
yeah, these supplements is like taking food. It's what's missing from food is what really these all are. So there's no contraindications at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions. And Samantha has a question.
Hi, yes, Jonathan. I've been giving iBoost to 2 young ones. I have 2 boys, and they can't really swallow the capsules. So my question was about the efficacy of, putting that in water or something like that and giving it to them that way. And then also, is there something to do with the changing of the efficacy if you open the capsules, put them in water or juice or something, and, say you're making up a couple doses for the day, that would change that. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all, Samantha. You can do that without having any negative. It won't reduce the effectiveness at all.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Mila Robinson.
Yes, Mila Robinson.
Mila.
Yes, I've been in your show a couple of times. I mean, on Zoom.
Yes.
And I just wanted to tell you that I stopped ordering Micro Daily for a while through the Jacuzing. And then I reordered again because my 2 daughters, the youngest one had a Delta variant last month. And she was diagnosed that, and she was in the hospital for a few days, but also she was anemic or low blood. So I told her to double up on her Micro Daily, which she did. And I supplied her Micro Daily and my other daughter also, which she was overweight, and now she's losing weight. I haven't seen her yet, but I heard she's losing a lot of weight. So the Micro Daily, they both like it. They said it both works for them, because if it wasn't for the Micro Daily, maybe she wouldn't be out of that Delta variant that she was in last month.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. So glad to hear that, Mila.
Yes.
And how much were they taking?
I told them because they're afraid of medicine like me, and they were like taking 2 a day, but I said double it up or triple. And my the one with Delta did double it up, and at least she survived. She's at home now.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Good advice that you gave her to take more of it, because as an adult with something as serious as some kind of a virus, especially one during a pandemic, taking a pediatric dose is not going to be sufficient and won't get the results. So I'm glad that you told her to increase the amount. So we'll look forward to hearing any follow-up to that story too, Mila. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Welcome.
And Dolores Levette, you got the last word on this, Dolores.
Hello, Jonathan, doing okay?
Yeah, so good to see you.
Good to be here. I just wanted to tell about my 3 great grands that's taking the gummies. I have a 2.5-year-old. Well, she's been taking the hydro really since she was about 1.5. She loved that. And so now she loves the gummies. We have to hide them from her because she wants to have more. But the 8-year-old, he's fine. They all take them, but the 10-year-old, he asked his grandmother, he said, where in the world you all find these gummies from? He didn't want to take them, but they're all taking them. The 8-year-old was at school and got exposed to COVID. He sat right next to a child that tested positive for COVID that did not have a mask on. So his mom rushed him to get tested. He was having some symptoms, but he did not have COVID. He's doing fine. They're still taking the vitamins. The 10-year-old, he has not had any symptoms. But they are in a school that right now they had to close the school and they're going virtual. But I just want to say that the gummies are really working for them.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear, and gratifying. We'll have to make sure that we let Dr. Prasad know that we're getting outstanding results with that. I'm still working on getting him scheduled, but because of the holiday weekend, that wasn't going to work this weekend. So maybe in 2 weeks we'll get Dr. Prasad back here with us, so we'll be able to share with him some of these testimonials. But thank you very much, Dolores, for sharing that story, and for everybody else who's participated in all your questions and your sharing your stories with us, because that's what will make the difference for people. I can sit here, Jeff can come on this call, Alfreda can come and present all the science and all the details about how the products work, but you know that won't hold a candle, because there's all kinds of people claiming that their products are phenomenal. You can go to Walmart right now and find a box of some kind of a vitamin C product that they swear is just excellent for the immune system. They were fined, by the FDA for false advertisement about that product. And they had to pay millions of dollars for it, but you still can find it on the shelf at Walmart. So it doesn't matter that that they're paying fines for it, because $5 million fine is nothing. They make $50 million a week off that one product. So it doesn't make a difference to them to pay the fines. They would rather do that and leave people with the false impression that these things can make a difference for them. But for those of you who are having stories and having results, sharing your results will go much further with others here on the call. It resonates with them and resonates with anyone who will hear the story, your story as well. Maybe hear this recording even later. Will resonate with them. So thank you very much for sharing those stories. So we invite you to come back with us again next week. We can look forward to another very interesting discussion. In the coming weeks, we will have Dr. Prasad. He's promised that he will join us, not likely next weekend, but probably the weekend after that. So we'll keep you posted on that. If you're not in the WhatsApp chat, the healthcare support WhatsApp chat, just send a request and we'll be happy to add you to it. You can send your request to the email address I gave you earlier, jonathan@hcsaaa.com, and we'll be happy to add you to that chat. That way you get notifications about everything that's going on when we're having meetings like this, what the topics will be for meetings like this, when we'll have special guests for meetings like this. And you can also make sure that you contact us with questions or issues that you especially would like to have addressed on upcoming meetings. Okay. So once again, for the record, my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure and privilege to be your host and moderator for the afternoon. The information we share is purely anecdotal. It's for educational purposes only. We strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. Talk to your doctor before making a decision about implementing any nutritional supplement regimen. Help the doctor that's helping you. So we look forward to seeing you guys again next weekend. And for those of you who are interested in the business associated with Engage Global, stick around for a minute. We're going to have an 8-minute and 59-second conference discussion following this meeting. Thank you all again very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye, Jonathan.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
All right, let me just reset the recording here.